buildings did I build?
What was here when you came?
Most all the buildings
It's all falling down, honey.
that were here.
Had to prop it up.
We built the stage.
You built the stage? Okay.
And we didn't build it till about 72,
Okay.
73, somewhere along there.
Okay.
Entrance was a little stage.
Oh, okay.
It was hardly big enough for a band to get up on, and there was a little stage there.
Inside?
Now, more trivia, but the Heartbeats played there, and that was Bob Summers and Tony Summers and Jimmy Gartrell.
Bobby Simmons.
Bobby Simmons.
Tim Stewart.
Tim Stewart.
Depending on who was drumming.
And we were all in love with those boys.
Yes.
But most of the buildings were already here.
We're already here? Okay.
They were falling down.
Okay.
Most of them were built, the best I can find out, back in the 20s. And they were very well built then, but they didn't have foundations. They were built on cedar posts, and through the years the posts rotted out from under the foundations, and most of the buildings were out of shape.
Wow, even the ones with petrified wood were built on cedar posts?
No, not the ones down there. That were built out of rock, but the wooden buildings.
The wooden buildings were built on cedar posts?
The big building down here.
So did you use the casino as a skating rink when you all owned it?
Yes, we did.
Okay. When did it stop being a skating rink?
I don't know, we still have skates down there.
The casino. That was what it was called in the old days.
Yeah.
We were completely snowed in, literally, for about 3 days. And Mother opened, we waited down there and way over our knees, and we waited down at the skating rink. And she got on the phone and called the local kids. She called the Markses and Tim Neighbors and any of the local kids that could get here by walking. And she opened the skating rink all day for those kids. Made a great big coffee pot full of hot chocolate for them.
Is that fireplace original that's in there? You built that?
Raymond Hussey built it. He was brought the rocks that are in it. People brought them to us from all over the country. And
I read something that Pete wrote that said that you built a tabernacle or a
yes.
shelter. Which one is that?
That's
The big one up there?
Well, we did build that one.
Okay.
And then we built the one up there by our house. It was just a shed-like building, and we built it into a building.
Which one was your house?
The rock house.
In the middle? Yeah.
Right here's where we live. See, this was
And that was one cabin there.
that was one cabin, and this one came
okay.
and then they added in between them,
Right.
between the two cabins.
I see.
And we built bedrooms out of these two cabins, and then added a bath
In the back?
in between, a bath here and a bath over there, and a kitchen back on the back porch.
So if you built a shelter by their house. It's the shelter.
This was a tabernacle.
Okay.
And he made it into the hangout, which is a cabin in the kitchen.
It was a
And
tabernacle.
it was just a roof with tables in it. All right, and the caboose is the one you move and
Yeah, we moved.
framed in the screen part.
It was screened.
Most of these cabins were halfway, and then
That's what
screens the
Scott
other
told me.
half.
And then that caboose up there, one of them, and they were over here at the Methodist camp.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We were wondering what happened to the wood structures from the Methodist camp.
And they were concrete blocks, walls. And this Earl Million that I mentioned before, he moved them over here with a trailer bed. He built it up wooden frame, just where it could back under them. And we just jacked it up enough to get it up. And he drove off of those concrete blocks and brought them over here and we set them on pipe. Made a ship there.
And who did the rock work around them?
Mexico was.
Oh, and okay, so when was all of that done?
Oh, I'd say 70s or 80s. Carol Gann was superintendent over to Mestis Camp then. Let me have these buildings.
And these were screened.
Wood shingles on it, if I remember right. Wood shingles.
And these were screened in front, like the front part of them were screened
All the way around.
all the way.
And they had what, flaps that would go up, or did they,
They
or they just go?
had canvas.
Canvas, yeah.
Rolled up, yeah. I remember
Oh,
seeing pictures of that.
Basically tents with a wooden floor.
Girl Scout camp, they
And
call
so
them
you
tents.
enclosed them, so they were more like cabins?
Yes.
Okay.
They had nothing, I mean, no bathrooms, it's just floor and
The,
Which ones were built by individual people instead of by Mr. Cox?
the ones, the rock ones down there,
Okay.
were real individuals. He'd sold lots off to, I guess, kind of like lake lots now, you know.
Yeah.
People come down for the weekend.
Uh-huh.
And they built weekend cabins. Most of them were rock.
Do you know when that was? Like in the 20s and
They had to
30s?
be back in the communities.
you might also be interested in some of those little cabins. They weren't lined up like that, they were so scattered.
These? Oh, okay.
They were all scattered in Earl Milligan, they were them all.
When did he, for your parents? Okay.
About 64, 65.
Somewhere in the cabins, they were built by the Dempsey brothers back in the 20s probably.
The Cox family came into my store here about a year ago and brought me an article out of Fort Worth or Dallas paper that told why he came here and why he built it, and showed a picture of him over in front of the house where the hunters lived.
I knew that he was the first state highway engineer and he built the first paved roads here.
Yeah, I know.
And then
Yeah,
he
they told us that.
retired and bought the park.
He was, did you all ever get to meet him, Mr. Cox?
I met him when I was just a kid.
We were just kids when he was here.
Yeah. It was all, come down and swim once in a while. And
Didn't mean
it
much to
cost
us.
35 cents to swim, and I didn't have 35 cents, so I had to swim in bucks.
How many people during the heyday, how many people came here, would you say?
We didn't have an active count. It's always been open to the public. What's interesting is people from all walks of life and all interests.
Uh-huh.
And top of the line people, you know, for professions. A lot of them. It's been generations.
So it's been, that's what I was going to say, it's generations of the same families coming.
There's
Yeah.
been all sorts of folks in the store, in my store, the last few weeks that are here for family reunions, and all of them say, we've been coming here for years.
Yeah.
I don't know why we came here. I think it was a halfway point for some of them. You know, they would be coming from, you know,
Well,
towards the south and you know, then from the north, and they would meet here, and they just, all of them love it.
we're ideally located because people come from cities, Fort Worth, Dallas, and Houston, and
Right.
Lubbock, and Abilene, and everything. This is some central location
Yeah.
for them. It's ideal.
That's why our family started having a reunion here back in 60.
Didn't the city buy it at one time previously?
No, they ran it for 2 weeks.
Oh, they ran it. Okay, for 2 weeks?
Between time that just before we took them.
Okay.
They operated for 2 weeks. The day that we bought it, the Woodman Insurance Company came over here to buy it. If we'd been an hour too late, it would have been on the...
An insurance company?
Well, that's Woodman
In the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're old group.
They were interested in making it in kind of a youth camp for the
So it would have changed a lot.
They were one of your first big customers. They bring kids in.
Ah.
Yes, they were. They were one of our best customers first. They brought a lot of their underprivileged kids to swim and play. It was really a big boost for us.
But most of the rock walls, like the low rock walls and the benches, were they here, or did you?
They were here.
Okay.
Those over there, and these that's under the tabernacle down here. Yep.
And that fire pit down there, that fireplace
Yes,
there. Where's the playground?
Merry-go-round's not.
Full and swingers still on it.
Yeah, and you can see where the merry-go, I mean, you can see the track.
Well, now it was here when I was still teaching school because I brought kids down here and we always used the merry-go-round for my classes.
When they took it apart, well, let me back up. It always had a gant. And you ride it like this. All my life, rode it like this. They took it apart. Now tell them about it when they took it apart.
Well, it had like a ball bearing on it. It was made of wood.
Oh my word.
When they took it apart, they found that wood ball bearing. It was shot. It had been running all those years on this piece of solid oak. And they took it out there and put it back together. Well, they shot some grease down in the thing. Well, it worked. No, it's not put it back together. The needed was grease for about 40 years.
Wow.
Where was
It's out
it?
at
Where is it now?
It's out at
Camping fish.
When you bought the park, were there any RV spaces here? No.
Nobody knew what RV was.
In the really in the 60s?
The first camping club we had was pickup campers, where they slide in campers. And they didn't have the trailers or anything. So
Yeah, back then I guess we just had to have pop-up trailers and
but
stuff.
they didn't have pop-up. They just had pickup campers.
Oh,
Slide
okay.
in the,
Get the back of a pickup. Yeah.
And we didn't have any clue of what they needed, you know. They
Yeah.
said all we need is electricity to run campers, you know. And so that's the way we started out. This one particular club, they helped us out a lot back in the early days. And then, of course, the trailers started.
So it started with campers and pickups, and then it went to
Went to
trailers,
trailers,
and then
small
RVs.
trailers, and then the trailers got slide outs, and then they got
Was there always a tent camping?
Yes, they always been tent camping, but the trailer camping is what involved. You know, our company didn't know what to expect either. They put in transformers, and their engineers estimated how much power they was going to need. Of course, we were all just pioneers in the camping business, and we didn't know what to expect. We didn't know what this building and what the needs would be back then.
Where was the flowing well? Maybe where the rock building is down there? Did you put that rock building up that's down there? Was the gazebo still there when you bought it?
Was the diving tower there?
It was gone.
It was gone.
There was not the tall one, but there was still one you could jump to first.
When did you start the bluegrass music? Did you all start that, having bluegrass music out here?
Yeah. First festival we had one of the trailers that had a metal floor on it.
And that was your stage?
And that was the stage. And the band get up there and this metal would build. So we used that a couple of years, I suppose.
Okay.
He gets credit for everything we did here.
He didn't do anything. Did they have music here when the Coxes had it? You know?
because I've been told that Lawrence Welch was going down
Yeah.
one time.
The
Was that
casino
for a
was
bluegrass festival? Grandpa John?
the casino was back in the 30s and 40s.
Right.
And that's when the bands were here, and they served food down there too. I've got a 93-year-old aunt that still remembers coming down here. I mean,
They had bands, they had food and dances. And Lawrence Welch, huh?
Well, that's just a rumor. I don't know if that's
Yeah.
accurate or not, but I heard it.
The County Historical Commission said that, verified that. But
So they camped in wagons for a week.
We could find
the old time camp meeting type thing. Yeah.
Where were most of the campsites when you bought the property?
really just under the
Scattered
trees.
under the trees? From the research I've done about the 20s, when people first were able to buy cars, the average guy was able to buy a car, they did a lot of auto camping. They just kind of camped out of their cars. You know, they drive out into the country and pull over on the side of the road and camp.
Well, Mary,
Some of
they
them.
had cars that, in the running boards open, my grandparents had one and the tent would come out.
Oh, a tent would come out?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yes, my grandparents had one, and my grandmother told me how they camped all the way to Wisconsin because they couldn't afford to stay at the
Yeah.
hotel.
Yeah.
That was our way.
And that's how auto parks started, like Oakdale, because it gave them a safer place where they could all gather.
Yeah, I've known 5 generations of some of these people.
Wow.
did y'all grow up here?
Yeah. May's one of the old families from Somervell.
So the jukebox that was originally in that building was moved in
In
there.
here on the south end,
Uh-huh.
and it faces south. It was crammed up in where the trash can is.
Mm-hmm.
It was like right there facing the big rocks. So the kids could open that flap. That's another thing though, that had flaps on it that raised up.
The rock building right there, that's the rock building where the pump is?
Yeah.
That was where the well was?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
You just pump water over into this well, and then the big pump would pick it up and circulate it to the filters.
But the well was dry when you came, or only in the wintertime?
It flowed in the wintertime,
Okay.
but we just had a shark pipe. It didn't even have a check valve, and it picked it up. Sometimes you'd have to siphon it to get it started. You'd pick it up, and then we used it like that till the water table started dropping, and we had to keep adding pipe, and finally got below that. We had to get city water. This had a wheel up here, and the valve was way down there about 10, 15 feet deep, and the drain water went across under the road to the ditch down there, and it ran down to the big
Remember
rock.
that?
You built that?
No, I moved it over here.
Oh, okay. So it's original to the park, but you moved it?
And then we had the picking shed over
Yeah.
there. Ernie shed.
Yeah.
Ernie Winnett was kind of a pioneer fiddler. He was a good swing, western swing fiddler, and he was good to keep good jam sessions going here. And so he was kind of a pioneer fiddler, we'd say.
In the 70s, you could still get petrified wood like that to put in there because my mom came here and bought I don't know how much for her fish store.
What about opening day? Did y'all start that opening day tradition?
I suppose Mr. Cox started having opening
Yeah.
day.
I thought it did. Yeah.
The whole community did it,
Yeah.
not just one
Yeah.
park.
Yeah.
Right.
It was a big deal.
That was when they opened the swimming pool most of the time. And
Yeah.
they called it opening day. And have parades and all that.
To have the parade here or in town?
In town.
Yeah.
There's pictures of that.
And so
And
you
wasn't there a
added,
beauty pageant?
Oh yeah, I was in one. There's
A
one
beauty
we had
pageant
that-
here?
I have a
Yeah,
picture
was,
of
Yeah.
was it Miss Oakdale or Miss Glen Rose? What was it called?
It was Miss Oakdale Park. What about this street that
It's never been a street. They've had some controversy over it lately in the paper.
Uh-huh.
But what it is, before they bought the house, before Sandra bought the house, Clay Lackey built the house there, and he got an encroachment over here in the park, about 5 feet, and he didn't have access. So when they bought the house, they wanted to buy this strip out here, and I said, well, it's tied up at the bank. I'd have more trouble trying to sell it than they would. And so I gave them easement so they'd have a way to get in there. And it's still on the books. And the city owns it. See, this is the encroachment. The property line went straight down. Just this much encroachment. And it was here when we bought the park.
Now, where's the green marble?
Over here.
Oh, one right here with
That was the type of mortar that they used back in those days. It kind of strip that they put on it. I don't
It's
know.
beaded.
the color of it
Yeah.
is red. I mean green. which
With
is
red
unusual.
rocks. It's really unusual.
And I guess it must be a lost art. I haven't seen any lately. It's fixed that way, but
They did it at the mill when they repointed it.
this one was wooden, and we added the rock head, and that one over there we added a lot of rock to that.
Oh, you added okay. Did this have the petrified wood front?
It
And
had
you
the-
added the rock on the back?
It had
Okay.
the front is original, and there's been doors and windows changed and patched up, so it's all rock.
Now, what about this big one here? Let's talk about
Their
that.
son and daughter-in-law lived in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 3-bedroom, 2 bath.
Did you all build that?
It was there, and we rebuilt it.
This is where he did all his work.
It's about 36 feet wide, and we stored everything and did repairs. I built this out of the lumber that we tore down some old cabins over there on the far side. And I had the metal and the wood, and I built this out of it.
What colors were the cabins when y'all had here?
These that we tore down were yellow.
Well, I was looking at the color here of that turquoise. Was that on an old cabin?
Yes.
That turquoise color?
Yeah.
Because there are pieces of it. Yeah, all through here.
These are the ones you bought back.
We had, let's see, the 4 down in the corner was part of the park, and these over here, there was cabins over on that side, and one we torn down.
Uh-huh. Those were the yellow ones.
Yeah.
You need to know that that's when he quit welding. I mean, really, that dog, you get ask him, yeah, he quit welding because he was so upset that he caught that cabin on fire. He thought, he knew the leaves caught on fire. He knew he had started a fire, but he thought he'd put it out. And he went to the house and took a nap. It smoldered and then crawled. And a couple hours later, someone called my brother and said, "Are y'all barbecuing or is something on fire over there?" Scott threw everything down and came running. It was on fire.
And after you bought them, did you rock any of them in, or they looked the way they looked when you got them?
They about the same. We added the wood siding
Mm-hmm. You added the wood siding? Okay.
and rebuilt them inside. I use this one for a shop for several years, I guess.
But the rock work on that's original?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
You remember the names?
Rockdale, Rosedale, Elmdale, and Pinedale.
What is the two corner
This
ones?
is Rockdale, Rosedale, Elmdale, and Pinedale. That was Pinedale.
Pinedale and this one?
Rosedale.
Okay.
Who named all of them?
Mother.